Now, this next one's for Alicia. Now, we see that they have this assignment to clear out the warehouse for Virginia, and Alicia and Strand are immediately like, how can we leverage this to make our lives better? Ultimately, they go with Alicia's plan over Strand's, and as we see, it doesn't quite pan out the way that they wanted it to. Do you think that Alicia regrets going with her plan, or do you think she stands by what she thinks is the right thing to do in that situation?
I mean, I think what has led Alicia to survive this long is for her ability to have a core value of empathy and unity and compassion. And I think, you know, she chose to do what she did so she could keep people united, and so she could make sure that there was no unnecessary loss. And I think in a world that's so dominated by deception and malice and sinister values, there is something to be said for her to maintain that kind of compassion. And I do think it does separate her from a lot of the characters in a way. It's not to say that she hasn't been without her mistakes and she hasn't, you know, suffered because of some choices she's made. But I also think it's this combination of her knowing when to be a little bit more pragmatic and a little bit more ruthless, and having learned that from, you know, characters like Madison, maybe the unpredictability of Nick, you know, a con artist mind frame like Strand's, but to also bring it really back to what her core values are, which is still to lead with unity and compassion. And I think it's taken a long time for her to get to that place. And while in this specific instance, I think, yes, she's feeling a little like, well, this didn't really go to plan. But I don't think that is a characteristic that she is completely able to absolve within herself. That is what makes her Alicia Clark. And I think that is one of the big reasons why she's still standing, to be honest.
We also got the coolest walkers in this episode. We got some molasses covered walkers.
Oh, okay. I will say one thing. You think these were the coolest walkers? I actually get another episode which have by far the coolest walkers you will have seen.
Ever.
Period.
For sure.
Ever. Like ever. I mean, like on both shows. I would say they were and that's like a fun that's a fun non-spoiler because it's a fun thing to look out for. But they were like amazing. Like I kind of, you get a little desensitized after a while. You're like, yeah, like it's like whatever. It's just like part of the show. But there was a day on set where I was just like gobsmacked. I was like walking around, like touching them, like taking photos. They're like, Alicia, stop it. I was like, I can't. They look really, really good. Yeah.
And what was weird is
fun.
what was weird is that everybody was talking about them, but even what everybody was saying, still when you saw them, you went, "Oh my God!"
Yeah,
look at that.
Exactly. It was amazing.
I don't expect it.
Well, that's cool. I'm excited to see that. But for molasses zombies, I mean, that's a pretty high bar. Like, that's cool.
Oh, I know. That's how you know I mean it. And I've been on this show for 6 seasons, so you know I mean it.
Oh, Alicia, Coleman, Alexa, everyone that was in the molasses, how sticky did you get? Like, was that like a really messy shoot for you?
Actually, not really. It was more slippery because it wasn't. Yeah, it was more slippery though.
Yeah, it was more slippery.
I had it like down my face, up my arms. It was in my
Oh,
hands.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
You guys, yeah, I was covered in it.
That's right.
It was pretty sticky for me.
We were like, molasses to the kid. She'll be fine.
Yeah, she'll be good with it. No, it was super fun though. I mean, I was very sticky and slippery. It was kind of like a combination, but it was super fun.
Now, by the end of the episode, you get the idea that there might be a wedge slowly being driven between Alicia and Strand, these characters that have been ride or die for like years. does Alycia have her doubts about Strand by the end?
I mean, absolutely. But I also think it's because it's a stark reminder of a part of Strand that she's sort of forgotten for a little bit, you know, that he is a con man. That's how she came to know him. And it is a bit of reminder of, oh, this is still a part of him. But she also knows him more than anyone else. And she knows that there is always an ulterior motive and, you know, a plan in place that I think she has faith that he still will ultimately, at the end of the day, try and do the things that will support, you know, this new family, because it's still, historically speaking, been true, you know, and they have gone through too much together to completely deny that. But yeah, I mean, she's at definitely a little bit of a you know, crossroads with who Strand really is. But I think that's also part of his duplicitous nature. So, you know, that is how she knows him. If anything, I do think, you know, for her, having these reminders just helps inform where she's headed and, you know, what path she's going to take. And that the way a lot of these strong leading characters have chosen to attack a problem, you know, informs what she should do.
Definitely.